Hey guys, good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. That is the in summary the kind of the vibe right now, you know. I feel like it really is, you guys. I hope you're doing well. What do we have? Maybe like 5 more days. Today's what? The 3rd? No, the 14th. Good morning with coffee here. Yeah, that made me chuckle for a minute. Like, what day is it? Hold on, shit. We are moving towards the end of Pisces season. Just thought I would pop in and check in with you guys. I'm really feeling it intuitively, deeply. This shift from Saturn in Aquarius for like almost a year and a half, 2 years, guys, to Saturn in Pisces. It's a big move. It's a big shift, you know. And then we have Pluto's ingress into Aquarius, where it's not like full on into Aquarius, but we won't go off spiraling that too much, because I just wanted to check in with you guys. And we've got this Aries portal, you guys, with the spring equinox on the 21st, the new moon, and all these things happening with the big Aries energy. Pisces is the last sign on the zodiac wheel. You know, it's big 12th house energy. What is hidden, what is between in the liminal space, endings, butting up, and sometimes merging, dispersion, at the same time as birth. It is, you know, it's much like it. I mean, it is a womb. And so it's very interesting right now, because what we can have going on is this quickening feeling. You know, it's the quickening of spring. It's a quickening of birth, gestation, you know, blood, sweat, and tears. It's a quickening. It's a quickening. And that energy is very interesting, because we're going to feel that in our energetic bodies, in our divine masculine. We all carry, you know, yin and yang, divine masculine, divine feminine energy within us. And so we will feel that. Of course, if you're a chart, you know, you can always look at your natal chart, your energetic signature, and it can better assist you. You can kind of get an idea, you know what I mean? Like, am I water heavy? Am I air heavy? Am I earth, fire heavy? So people with certain placements, and you know, where is your Mars? You know, where do fire elements sit in your chart? And these are interesting things to contemplate, but I'm saying we can feel this slow uptick. We can feel this portal opening, because guys, basically we're in this place where Saturn has shifted from Aquarius into Pisces. And so that feels very much one way. But then we're also in this place where we are going into this Aries portal. We are quickening towards Aries season. The zodiac wheel itself is about to be reborn. And there's huge galactic, huge energetic, huge implications of this specific rebirth. But we could really, and I was doing my own personal journal work and such this morning, and this is from the Guardian of the Night Tarot, and I love the Judgment card here, and it really resonated with me for this energy. And I love the golden snake, the shedding of the skin, you know, very much an excellent example of what it feels like to be shifting into this Aries. I gotta move Ganesh, you guys. He gets salty. He said, I'm the remover of obstacles, but you always put your damn cards in front of me. No. Do you ever feel like your candles and your different, you know, just the energy on your altar talks to you? They very much talk to me, you know. You know, my stones, pick me up, put me here, you know. Ganesh and whoever at any given time, you know, I have all kinds of different things from all different beliefs and walks of life. But anyway, he said, time out. Can you fucking move me, please? But yeah, this this Aries portal, and here we have some cards coming out already as I'm shuffling in the background. This Aries portal is interesting. So what we're going to have here, I really want to talk to you about Saturn and Pisces too, because it was just coming through so strong intuitively, so many messages with that. But let me see if I can back. Yeah, so essentially, you guys, what we're going to have here is we've already had Venus in Aries. We've already had Chiron, which is not a planet, it's an asteroid body, but Chiron is huge because it's all about the wound in your life cycles, the wounded warrior, and deep internal inner shadow work and healing and such like this. So Saturn is Saturn. Is that like a Saturn cat? No. Chiron, okay, is completing this type of movement with Aries. Jupiter, of course, is going to be in Aries until May, has been there since the end of December, which is a huge placement. Our big benefics are in Aries, already wanting to expand, wanting to joyously celebrate, and wanting to elevate. And you know, these are big heart chakra, crown chakra, solar plexus chakra, these elevations, even the sacral with Venus, you know, elevating, kind of again, a golden snake, a kundalini rising, wanting to come up. So we feel this energy in the spring equinox, and then we will have 2 back-to-back new moons opening lunar cycles with Aries energy. We will continue to have more planets in Aries. We will this fiery, this woof, the snake has shed its skin and it's ready to arise in fire. Very, very much Kundalini rising energy that we have going on. So it makes me think, it's like, you know, I heard someone say, and I was in agreement with this, that like right now we have days, and this depends on your energetic signature, of course. And again, this is just a general tap into my own intuitive feelings and messages, but it feels like some days are going really fast. And what is time anyway? Like a local Aquarian reader here, you know, let's not spiral off into what the constructs of time are and are not. But how could we say, the feeling of how you were anchored in your 3D days, in your embodiment. We can experience this almost at rapid light speed, but then we get this effect of Pisces season is also ending. You know how like when you're running in a dream and sometimes you feel like you're running really fast, but you're not, and then your legs are like, you know what I'm talking about? Everyone's had that dream. You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting because we have 2 of Wands and 10 of Wands, and it's very much that, because we feel like some days we're moving very fast. Some days our upgrades, our transmutation, our alchemy work is moving us. We feel that Kundalini rising, and we almost, you know, we create, we think, we execute, we do. And those feelings are going to want to speed up. So we have to be mindful to temper our balance, so we don't swing into the shadow side of a lot of this influx of fire energy, because it can get very, you know, divine masculine, Mars, Aries, all this energy can get very shadowy. But then we will still have days right now. And I think that we'll continue to feel this because Saturn is going to be moving with Pisces. In the liminal, in the shadow, in the very 12th house energy, in the unknown, what is to be discovered, what is to be brought up, what is to be visioned, what is to be dreamed, what is to be imagined as well. It's very much like anchoring in timelines, but they're not quite ready to fully anchor in. And so I think I'll also find myself feeling like some days are just very slow. They're still expansive, but it's more like the expansive feeling of like floating in the water. And the sun shining down on you, accepting all that is, and everything that is mine will come to me, and I'm just being. That's one form of embodiment, you know, in a very divine feminine way. And then there is very much the Aries, Mars, let's do it, let's execute my physical body. We just came through a full moon in Virgo. I feel embodied. It's very earth and very earthy, grounding it in, putting action behind the words, checking off the list. Let's go. Let's, you know, there's also that divine masculine feeling of that as well. So it's funny, you know, time just feels different on different days to me right now. You know, there are some days where I feel like it's an inexhaustible amount of energy. and I create and I touch a flower, and then I'm immediately inspired, and then I channel. And then, but, you know, tapping into this energy, we have to be careful. You know, Two of Wands, Ten of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, Five of Swords here is giving, is very much like, everything that we vision is not gonna, and rightfully so, divinely balanced, law of polarity, you know, everything that we feel inspired to, as the uptick of this fire energy happens, is not, we can't manifest 10 wands and then carry them all at once. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes when we have two different visions, it requires us to choose a path. And it's very much like we cannot put our, you know, the wands or your fire, your chi, your spirit, your creative soul, your essence, your literal energy in exchange for, what am I saying? We are in 3D bodies, and we have these amazing power we will continue to have. They will continue to flesh out. We'll work on up towards our first solar eclipse window in the end of April. And so we will continue to feel these moments of epiphany, you know, and Kundalini rising energy. But there's only so much we can do in the constructs of the 3D body. And we accepted that as a soul contract. We accepted that as our mission, so to speak. You know, hey, sign me up for Earth School. I'll go this round. So it's quite something else. And I don't know, you know, check in. How are you guys feeling? Like there's a mass for me of just creative energy. And for me, you know, I'm creative doing, you know, my candles, my oils, my different, I mean, I'm constantly just it's such a rapid rate for me. Like I will touch things and I'll just want to create, but you can't, you know, you can't create everything. And then you have to feed yourself. And then the human type things that we have to do are still there every day. And, you know, ending of Pisces cycle energy, you have to take care of your mental health. You're still wanting to be very meditative right now. You know, a window that we're about to step into with this portal, this we could really call it, as we come onto the spring equinox, this is very much a fire portal, an Aries portal. There's so much energy out there. Law, bless. Oh, if you are a fire ruled chart, you know what? I have a lot of air. I have a lot of Aquarius, but I also have a lot of fire. And I have like a very masculine heavy chart. So for me personally, the water work is still super important right now, because what happens when you step into this, it's like lighting a match to an explosion of transformation, of expanding, of abundance. And again, that's not just creating literal art. You know, you don't have to be a painter. It's creative energy, and however you manifest your creative energy. Maybe you do that being of service. Maybe you have a job where you put a lot of yourself into. And, you know, we could go on and on about however we create. And also, we are always recreating ourselves. You know, if you're doing the path and the way and the work of personal evolution in the way that we all aspire to, right? You are also your own constant recreation project. And so all of this is just a light, and it is just going to continue more and more and more. As we go into the spring equinox, as we kind of boom, explode into these lunar cycles that are opening up with this Aries energy. And we need, you know, we need to be walking with high spiritual attunement. We need to, you know, be doing our work in the water, in our spiritual, divine, feminine, in our yin energy as well. It's so important that it be in balance, because it's kind of like saying when you walk into a huge inheritance and boom, it explodes in front of your face. It's like, let's use this metaphor. Spirit is saying, what if you were, and this is very much Seven of Pentacles, you know, wow, I'm at the seven. I've put in a lot of work, and I'm kind of looking at the fields, and I'm pausing because I know that I have the potential to take this all the way out to the Ten of Pentacles. But I mean, like, and it's funny because this makes me think of lavender. This makes me think of wisteria. This makes me think of, henbit with the purple tips, and some of these plant allies, these spirit energies that I've been working with through the plants. Because the third eye, because the channel, the open way of balancing that yin feminine energy, it is wisdom. It is trusting discernment. It is being able to see with that third eye very clearly. Because if someone said, hey, let me tell you a secret, tomorrow you're going to inherit $10 million. But I need you to be able to stand grounded in your firm foundation with your open heart chakra. I need you to understand your wisdom, to hold your strong energetic boundaries, because listen, let's say your family, right? And that is likened to in the spirit world, your higher light body ascended team that you are ancestrally from in your light body, your ancestors here in the 3D realm, and all of these different elements and your spirit guides and whatever you resonate with, right? Divine God, goddess energy, divine source energy, right? Is like we've been watching you study through these transits of Saturn in Aquarius. Okay, five of this is Archangel Michael energy. He is highly associated with the Judgment card and the traditional Rider-Waite. He is kind of the carrier. Think of the golden snake here, but we have these snakes which are mental in our minds, and how we have these mental internal battles. But I love the contrast here of the blue versus the gold. Because it's two different aspects. Just because we can light a match to everything does not mean that everything is going to be for us in our best and highest seat of wisdom, and we have to be able to hold our mental and spiritual energetic, the swords they're very mental. Yes. My perception of reality, how I communicate, but they're also very spiritual. If my crown chakra is open, how am I think of the element of air, the element of light? How is it entering in? I'm receiving my messages. Is my third eye blocked? Is it open? Am I healthy in my spiritual practice? Also, the blue dragons here, the blue snakes, versus the gold snakes, these have not yet quite been alchemized to shed the skin and become gold. Spirit is saying, because these are still our inner dragons that we work on slaying. Because sometimes if you are, how would we say, if you are working in drawing wisdom off of the wrong snake, right? Or maybe you're working with a version of the snake or the dragon, whatever you resonate with, you may be lighting matches to the wrong explosions. You know what I mean? Again, here, two of wands, we have visions, but we have to choose a path. We can't, we can't hold a globe and stake out our path. If we're trying to carry two wands, we're going to drop the globe. If we don't carry any wand, we won't walk forward. We'll just be standing there staring at a globe, and then, life in the background. Notice here the water, all the water behind him as he is doing. The Two of Wands is a very visionary. I imagine what I'm going to create. I imagine where I'm going to go forth. Where am I going to travel? Do I want to live somewhere else, work somewhere else, do something else? Whatever it is. I mean, you don't have to be traveling. I guess the Spirit just wanted to speak on travel. But when I look at these two cards, too, Spirit is saying how quickly, if you're not careful when you go lighting matches, that you will multiply 2 wands into 10 wands, and then you'll have more burdens than you are able to, Seven of Pentacles, really give all of your attention to. Just because we can grow a whole garden doesn't mean it's meant for us to sow every plant. Again, just because Aries season in the spring equinox in this year of 2023, this is a very expansive, transformative, alchemical. This is the year of the Chariot. This is the year of the Magician. What I'm seeing when I look at the Judgment snake, I'm seeing like the Midas touch. It doesn't mean that you want to call in everything that you can light a match to. And so, saying all that, I say, it's important. That is where the divine yin, feminine energy balance of intuition, of discernment, of being able to sit in meditation, in journal work, is one facet of that. And hear your inner voice, hear your guides, tap in with them. Because let me talk to you about something here. Saturn was moving through Aquarius. And Saturn is the Lord of karma and time. It is about laws. It is about accountability. It's about structure, sustainability. It is about, you know what I mean? Rules, regulations. By the way, I'm going to say as a side note, and I need to post this on the website and get it on the socials. If this resonates with you, with this big shift in Saturn, it's a great time to look at your Saturn placement in your natal charts, and not just what is my Saturn in. That's a great start. And of course, obviously, I am happy to help you with that if you message or email or go to the website. Everything is there if you need some guidance. But you also look at placements around Saturn. You know, what's conjunctions, what are the sextiles, what, anyway, Saturn placements would be great to understand right now. Saturn in Aquarius, you know, they did a lot of tearing down of foundations. You know, Aquarius wants us to understand how we can sustainably and in maturity call in a more authentic version of ourselves. But how we need to understand, you know, with Aquarius, it's not just a rebel ride. It's not just the stick in the middle. Y'all, look, I have so many Aquarius placements. My Saturn is not in Aquarius, but Lord. Anyway, look. Saturn is like a stern father figure to Aquarius, and was for like a year and a half, almost 2 years. And doing these one-on-one work with the collective, I've talked about this before, and with my full moon people, just my intimate one-on-one work. I'm seeing people literally are had such huge life shifts where it was like, I don't even identify as this person in my body anymore. I cannot work like this anymore. I can never work like this again. I can never even live this structure of my life. I can't even live in this place. I don't even want to be in this country. All these energies, you know, but Saturn works with Aquarius and saying, I support you being as authentic as fuck. Like you fucking get out there, because we have to do, and it's the age of Aquarius as well, you guys, which is just a newborn baby. We got what is it? A long something, something together. I like to praise you. That the song came to mind, but we got a long way to go. But I'm saying, you know, Aquarius needed Saturn, because if we just left Aquarius out there, y'all, buck wild and unchecked, you know, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and they liable to look. Aquarius is like, cool, we're just going to go make a society in the ocean and we'll start all over, and then it'll be, you know. Or Aquarius is like, hey, why don't we just fly off into Netherland of the technologies and the socials, and it's okay, we'll escape our bodies and everything will be, you know. But listen, we go on a lot of tangents there, okay? And I'm very Aquarian, so I got to check myself. I'm telling you, like, real, I understand. But Saturn was necessary because Saturn said, hold on, this shit has to be sustainable. It has to mature. You have to be accountable. You have to, look, we did not sign up for a contract on Earth where we will just float up one day out of our third dimensional, very Earth embodied, very Gaia magnetic grid. We were here to experience this with Earth. This is our Earth school. So we have to be careful. You know, it has to be sustainable. So we did a lot of foundational breaking work. We revolutionized ourselves, and all of this work has to happen on the micro level before it can continue to mature in the micro. You know what I'm saying? As within, so without, right? Hermetics there for you again. But it has to happen on the base level of self before we can have the ripple effect. You know what I mean? And so now, after doing this big work through 2020, through 2021 and 22, now Saturn takes a long time to complete its transit. So it spends a decent chunk of time. There are planets that do longer chunks of time, but we're talking about Saturn. Okay, Saturn spends a good little time in a sign, right? So we pay attention when Saturn moves, because Saturn is also the teacher. Saturn is the life coach. Saturn is the divine masculine father energy. He's kind of the gatekeeper in the skies between the end of the planets and then the outer lying, the subconscious, the world of death, the world, all these things, right? You know, you think Pluto, anyway. You get what I'm saying, okay? Saturn has to come in. Wow, and did you guys see the candle finished? Dude, I've been burning that candle for like, Spirit said, mm-hmm. And it's a blue candle, you guys, with Saturn moving into Pisces. Saturn will come around and check us on our homework. You know what I'm saying? Hey, do you owe a little bit of the karma debt? Do you need to pay? Do we need to take you back a few grades so that you can study some more? Okay, we're shifting. We applaud you. You've done really great. Your guides, your ancestors are saying that's great job. You're passing a lot of tests. Now we're going to take Saturn into a new set of lessons in the energy of Pisces. And it feels like, it feels very Two of Wands standing in front of a huge waterfall with the ocean as a backdrop. You know what I'm saying? Because what I was getting all these downloads, and I need to get to a place, guys, where I just really feel like my crown chakra is evolving, and I need to either, I know some people will like voice record their messages from their intuition and higher self and their team and what have you. I need to start doing that. Or either like some people use a notepad and they'll type them down, because I'm just when you're in a space and you get a message and then it's just gone, it's like trying to remember a dream. But the energy of Saturn moving into Pisces has very much felt like when you were in a dream, and we have all this energy coming in with Aries, and you're trying to run in the dream because you're like, yeah. And Jupiter sometimes on the shadow side in the sign like Aries can say, let's expand everything, abundance in everything, and money, and get it, hit it, because I can, I will, and And then again, we had that Virgo full moon that said, I'm going to need y'all to bring it on back down into the body. Okay, just because we can doesn't mean it brings us joy. Let's get rid of it. Just because we can align with that person, just because we can manifest anything we want to, doesn't mean it's all for our highest and best good. What is it? There's a teaching. Yeah, I'm going to say Crowley, hate on it if you want to. Look, the dude had his moments, and I ain't pinning a rose on his nose, but there were some, just like any other human, there are some epiphany moments that you channel. Doesn't mean you are the greatest human who ever walked the earth. We have moments where, okay, some people are way more, you know what? Look, we're not debating Crowley today. I feel like I'm talking to y'all in the ethers, but listen, get with me on it. What was it like? Love is the law, and it's kind of this whole idea that you do whatever you want as long as you don't harm anyone. And this is the whole taking responsibility for your personal evolution. Just because I can connect with this person, craft with this person, create with this person, work with this person, be in a long-term relationship with this person. Just because I have the talent and the skill set to make this tool, to channel this message, to serve this mission, whatever, is it in the highest and best good of my own alignment? And we're all only responsible for that within ourselves. So I think what Saturn wants to do here is it's almost like Saturn has us slowing down. It's like we're running in quicksand in a dream because we are alit with fire. And the way that I was just seeing it was like Saturn is showing us. What was I thinking? Oh shit. Yeah. I was thinking about, it was like, the pause, the intentional pause, reflection, gratitude, thinking. Someone called this, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it Minnow Pont? Y'all ever watch Minnow Pontero? Anyway, I used to watch him so much a long time ago. I don't have time to watch a ton of them anymore. But is the juice worth the squeeze? Is what he used to always say. And again, it's that crossroads between taking a Two of Wands and multiplying it by throwing 10 wands on your back, and that's where you have to get right with yourself and your mental and your spiritual hygiene. And I was seeing Saturn in Pisces. It was kind of like the Minority Report. Do you guys remember that? And everyone just booed collectively for Tom Cruise. But no, listen, think back on the Minority Report, and he had the ability to go in these orbs. Remember the oracles? And they would, and then the ball would come down, and he would shuffle and shift, and they'd be looking through timelines. They would be looking through the possibilities of what can happen. And Saturn in Pisces gives me these big vibes of exactly that. Think of like the Seven of Cups. okay, but amplified with your spirit team and your ancestors. Like you guys are minority reporting this shit, right? This is what Saturn and Pisces feels like. And it's like this expansive window of Aries portal and the spring equinox is like showing you all these orbs, right? And flashing through them, your ancestors, your higher spirit guides, your light body and team, and they're like you can light a match under any of these. But you don't want to hold all of them, and you also need to be identifying what orb or what cup. And we could even alternatively, like, get with me here, we could call these timelines, we could call these other dimensions. I want to go to quantum on you though, but I feel like you can get the gist of what I'm saying. We can anchor in any timeline, any dimension. We can energetically partner with and become into agreement with any soul contract, any karmic connection, be that, family members, friends, love partnerships, etc., right? That we want to. This is the agreement of incarnating here because we have free will. And the flow of the tide is an indicator of what we, on the micro, but also on the macro, as below, so above, as below, right? It's an indicator of what we are ready to call in frequentially on the whole. Okay, so that's why it's so important that you hold yourself accountable to the wands that you're going to stack on your back. It's very important, that we understand. Spirit is saying that this Aries portal is not the end all be all. It's like a start of a Kundalini rising. Do you know what I'm saying? And we have to, it is like gearing down a thing a little bit in the wisdom of your spirit, because you're led by discernment. And you know that just because you can create, make, manifest, do everything now doesn't mean you should. In fact, you shouldn't. Because when you try to light all those matches, how are you going to control the fire that's growing? It's going to get away from you. The momentum is going to go in the wrong direction. And then, of course, that's fine. We have free will. Y'all, Lord knows we done sent some momentum in the wrong direction before. But yet here we are. Thank you, ancestors and guides. Thank you so much. My ancestors probably tired as hell, y'all. I love you, ancestors. Let me touch my picture of my ancestor over here. Bless. He over there smoking. He's smoking a Marlboro, He was, what would he be drinking, y'all? I'm not gonna lie, be drinking a can of beer, talking about, God dang. But no, you know what I'm saying? It's so important right now to be in alignment with your intuition, to be listening to your discernment. It makes me think of, that whole a penny saved is a penny earned. We can do an opposite thing. Spirit is showing me now, and thinking about that. We have a huge inheritance, and it is coming. But just because you get the inheritance, this golden inheritance, and y'all, please look, Spirit wants me to pull y'all aside and have a timeout, because I talk about this all the time on my one-on-one work. Venus in Aries, Jupiter in Aries until May, this huge Aries portal. It's so huge. It's not meant to blow up like a big explosion and be experienced all at once, and then we have to clean up the mess. And also working with huge Jupiter expansive abundance energy is not just about like how much shit, sorry, I'm just channeling you guys as spirit, how much shit can I do to make money? You know what I mean? I'm not a fan of, but to each their own. You walk with your own ancestors and team. You have your own experience, and you honor that as you may. I'm speaking from my own. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm also channeling, and it's not just all about me, but it's bigger than just manifesting money all the time. It's so much bigger than that. It's so much bigger than that. Spirit said again, it's so much bigger than that. Abundance, gratitude, and inheritance. Spirit is almost saying, like, if you only see that as dollar signs, there's a lot more growth work to do. And sometimes we have to be very careful about the energetic alignment that is speaking to us. because that's like, it's like a Ponzi scheme. It's like a quick come up. Do you know what I'm saying? We don't want to treat this portal like a quick come up I can bank off of, because it's going to blow back in your face. Spiritual inheritance, again, remember how I was telling you it was like your team, let's say your family, right? They sat down and said, hey, guess what? We never told you, but we've been watching you study. I'm not going to break it down in this video, but you can take it all the way back to 2012. And if you know, you know, in a spiritual, energetic way, huge things shifted in 2012. And it's like your team is saying, your family saying, we had this inheritance for you all of this time, but we've been watching you study, and we think it's time to pass on the inheritance. I mean, and the gods are saying, do you really want to prodigal son it all the way over again? We don't want to be doing that right now, especially with Pluto ingress into Aquarius, and then what Pluto is going to be doing in the next cycles, the fall, the next couple years. That ain't what it is. I'm just saying, take it as a message and note it down. And if you're here with me and you're really resonant and you understand the energy, this abundance, you love and light. You better know your abundance and personal worth outside of a dollar sign, and we're going to leave it there. So when I speak of inheritance, please understand that I'm speaking of something so much bigger, so much greater, so much more far expanding. When I talk about abundance, it's so much bigger than that. Okay? But we don't get we don't sit down at the table and have this discussion with our family and our team of guidance. And then we go and we just blow the inheritance in a season, right? And then what happened? Y'all, I'm not religious, but I'm going to tell you right now, I was raised in the Bible Belt of the Southeast. And y'all, if you're Southern, you don't even have to be Southern. I bet y'all can all get down with the spiritual principles and a good old story from the Bible. You know what I'm saying? The prodigal son, you know what I mean? He had to go eat with swine. And then he had to come crawling back again after a huge, long, extended, very full of probably harsh, painful lessons of crawling back to the energy from where he came, from where his inheritance started. And that, Spirit is saying, that is not where we are. That is not where we are. So whether it looks like a spiritual inheritance that you want to flesh out into a career or an entire new lifestyle. Age of Aquarius, you're probably feeling like an entire new, oh my gosh, I'm just waking up to the fact that I don't even have to live like that. Life does not even have to look. You know, Aquarius loves to remove, again, with a beautiful partnership that it went through with Saturn, it loves to remove it likes to tweak the laws of perception of what things have to be, how people have to look, what life has to be done. It doesn't have to be a 9 to 5, for example. It doesn't have to be da-da-da-da-da. We could go on and on. Love and light and much respect to people who do a lot of necessary fields too, who don't get enough respect. You know, you may be in a medical field, you may be in a community service field. Every role and every unique manifestation of how your spirit creates and serves and heals is necessary. Just want to say that as a side note. All I'm saying is Age of Aquarius is really opening up. You think of the star terrace, really pouring refreshing waters down and opening up. And then Saturn and Pisces, now we're going to have a lot of illusions being obliterated. And so in the womb, now Saturn will take us in Pisces to understand our accountability to our dreams. And I go back to that vision about the Minority Report. And it's like, you have to be able to look at that orb, or let's say 7 of Cups. You have to be able to look at that cup from a place of awakened wisdom and in balance with your divine yin, your intuition, your discernment, your voice of your inner spirit and your guides, your ability to have your third eye open and fucking protected. You know what I'm saying? Blue dragons, gold snakes. Okay, that's transmutation. That's alchemy right there. You have to be able to look at the orb and look at the cup, and sometimes you cannot. Spirit is wanting to say right now too. I knew this Saturn video was going to be like this, but Spirit is also saying, if you look at the cup, you need to understand that you look at it from the eyes of discernment, from a grounded, rooted chakra system. The solar plexus knows who it is. The root chakra knows that it is always provided for, that there is no need for scarcity or lack. You know, the sacral is not choosing from a place of woundedness, of needy, wounded attachment, right? The heart chakra is open, and then the throat can speak and hold boundaries and do right-centered spelling, right? The third eye is open, it can see clearly. So when you look at a cup, even if you can't, and then the crown chakra, of course, is open, it's being cleansed, cleared, and protected, and you're connected with your higher self, your guides in many different forms, and your ancestors all at the same time. And you're rooted in the earth grid, okay? And when you look at a cup, maybe the cup is full of a lot of fucking money, or it smells really good, it tastes really good, it feels full of pleasure, right? But you can know in your discernment, even if you can't articulate it the way that you need to. And sometimes you will be able to. It's going to be a strong fuck no from me, and I'm about to tell you exactly why. And those are great, because then we know immediately we're going to swipe that cup away. We're going to swipe that timeline, that orb away. We're not going to light a match to it. We're going to understand that our matches that we light are our inheritance that we have been given. First of all, we don't want to blow all our matches. Again, this one spring equinox is like someone's about to give you a big ass fucking box of matches and be like, I think you know what to do with these. And then your team is going to watch. You're going to stay connected, or you're going to be guided. You know, because we will be offered many cups, and Saturn and Pisces, the lesson, the maturity, the responsibility. Is this cup sustainable? Is this timeline, is this reality sustainable? Because Saturn will quickly fucking remind you that just because you heal from a cycle does not mean the karmic play out, the dharma of that cycle is not going to flesh out, because it still will. That's how it works in this third dimensional timeline. You know what I'm saying? You have Kundalini awakening moments, you do all these things, but you still have to sit and sweat out shit that you started way back like 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago. Okay? Sorry, I was just pausing. I was just listening. You know, so we have to be mindful. Saturn in Pisces is like be discerning of the cups that you choose. You know what I mean? And it's also a reminder that your imagination is a beautiful tool. You can create a whole new world, a whole new life for yourself. Again, hello, Saturn. We'll gut check you and say, I love that dream for you. Absolutely. I love that timeline. I love it so much. That shit is magical as fuck. But then Saturn will say, hey, listen, what's the timeline? Is it sustainable? How can we anchor it in? What does your intuition... Saturn and Pisces is going to remind us too that sometimes we will just feel that shit. Okay? You may look at a cup and you may be like, man... You know, your mom and your boss and your friends and your community is going to be like, you owe us an explanation for why. Why can't you? No, you don't. I feel it. I know it in my third eye. That's not for me. I can't drink of that cup. Okay, maybe I'll try. You don't even, I don't even know why Saturn and Pisces are given this big vibration of like, I know what is sustainable for me, from my own intuition, from my own discernment, from my own liminal space of my divine feminine. Our divine feminine womb energy and in sacred portals, they go back aeons to the beginning, to the ocean. Do you know what I mean? To the big mother, right? Okay, I don't owe why Spirit is stressing. I don't owe anyone an explanation of why I have discerned or intuited that this is not for me. And Saturn is saying we're going to be going through some lessons, and we've studied, we've done our homework, we've done a lot of shadow work and healing, and we're going to keep going with it. But we need to understand the wisdom of saying this cup is not for me. However, I also trust that my imaginative ability is a great tool to create, you know, and I can anchor in and call in whole new timelines, and we can all do that together as a collective as well, but we have to learn discernment, we have to learn intuition. And now the voice, you know, the channel is kind of quieting down a little bit, but I would definitely encourage you, again, as we move closer to spring equinox, to keep up with your spiritual hygiene. You know, do your meditation work, do your spiritual work, stay gridded in the earth as well. You know, be in your favorite nature spots, and even on days where that looks like you just walk outside and sit in the grass. You know, I was telling someone the other day, we were talking, and it was like sometimes it's tough because we got to do the shit we got to do. Hello, that's big Saturn energy too. And sometimes I will literally just hold my gemstones, you know what I mean? And trust them, or sit at a space that is sacred to me, and just be beside my plants. You know, some days it's just like, you know, I felt some plants really speaking to me, and if it was in the right place to receive the offering, I bring them back to my sacred space and trust that their energy supports me. But any way that you can be supported by the magnetic grid of Gaia, to be anchored, to be constantly cleansing, it's kind of like running water through a filter. You know, you got to put your feet down on that soil and let your energy get filtered out. There's no replacement for sunlight on your face. There's no replacement for a smudge like the wind blowing through your hair. All those things are wonderful right now. But also we are with this Aries portal, we're stoking, is like the cherub child, the rising of joy. The inner child has been going through a lot of healing and wants to play, wants to sense joy. But it's just a reminder to be discerning during this time. I want to close it by grabbing an oracle card, and we'll read an oracle card together. I've really been vibing with my sacred geometry oracle. And again, I'm just seeing that message, like your ancestors, your family, your guides are sitting at the table, and they're sliding a box of matches over to you that's probably equal in the ethers, in the energetic realms, to like millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? And they're saying, here's your inheritance. You know what I mean? Don't burn it all at once. Remember when you first got allowance and stuff, and like you went to the dollar store with $5 and you were like, I'm fucking rich. Okay? No. Love and light. Seven of Pentacles, pause and reflect. This is a juice worth the squeeze. You know, making a choice. Don't light up all your matches, and before you know it, them damn matches you lit up don't look like all these wands on your back, and you can't even walk, and you found yourself in more cycles that are very toxic, they're very karmic, you're tired, you're exhausted, and then you realize quickly, oh, maybe I did a bunch of money work, and wow, I manifested money, but damn, you know what I mean? You hear millionaires who go and sit on the mountains with the monks, for example, and they say, I had everything. I had cars, I had money, I had homes, I was traveling, but I was miserable. I felt dead inside. There was not enough of me for everyone, and I was spread so thin, and I was so ingenuine, and I was so lacking soul that there was no richness to my life. Do you know what I mean? It makes me think of Bob Marley, because I fucking love that man. I think I shared this in a short or something, but y'all know the whole thing where the dude's interviewing him, and he's like, are you rich? And he was like, what are you talking about richness? I'm rich in life. You know, I don't have riches like that. It's something to think about. Okay, be careful with consult your minority reports. You better be sitting with those guides and that discernment. Your team better be strong. Your healing game better be strong. Your discernment, your third eye. I've been working with a lot of eye bright. I've been putting herbs because I've been doing this Pisces, even with Pisces season ending, Saturn in Pisces, I've been doing a lot of these tools that are supportive of dream work. They're supportive of third eye and divine yin energy, you know, with wisteria and stuff like this, because we need this in a high fire portal like we're about to walk through. But look, let me grab these oracle cards, you guys. Dang, Spirit never gives you a disclosure, you know. Spirit, can they give you a little sticky notes like, just FYI, we're going to be preaching today, so yeah. So there you go. But if it resonates and you're in vibration with it, and it's what your guides and ancestors and your higher self needs to hear, you'll be here to hear what you need to hear. I think I said hear like 5 times. This is, whoa, see, that's that wildfire energy, you guys. Sorry. This is a wonderful deck, by the way. It's beautiful. Even to just put these, I'll pull one out and leave it on my space for like a couple days. The art, Sacred geometry is very powerful. It draws in the Earth's grid to your sacred space. So if you can get this deck or have any sacred Earth, you know, sacred geometry in your space. Let's see what we have, you guys, to close this out. I'm just shuffling over here to the side. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at that. Peace offering. Wow. Look at the dove. Why does it remind me of the Three of Swords? And Spirit is saying you don't want to be lighting matches from a wounded heart space. That's a quick recipe for a explosion of a toxic karmic lesson that we probably don't want to repeat. All right, let's go to number 40. I'm just going to read right out of the book. You know how I feel about oracle decks. They're well said. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right, so it says peace offering. Live peace, pray peace. Depicted on this card are the vortices of peace doves spiraling over a background of dark storm clouds. Why am I hearing the ending of timelines and then Saturn and Pisces, the ending of timelines that you need to make peace with, so that you don't re-anchor like broken energetic shards of these as we go through this huge, powerful portal of rebirth. Okay, let me read. The hearts are created by golden spirals and form the core of intention held by the hands seeking peace. As we view world events in these times, it is disheartening to hear of war, conflict, and aggression. Many feel powerless and capable of action and defenseless. Ooh, why is Pluto and Aquarius coming through? Okay. And defenseless in the face of the outrage. How can we be empowered? Both quantum physics and metaphysical thought affirm that by our intentions, we create our own reality. No matter how dark it may seem, humankind is evolving. Yes. This card symbolizes prayers offered with the conscious intention of peaceful hearts everywhere to shift from darkness and fear to love and compassion. It advises you not to lose hope, but rather to live peace in whatever way you are able. By your actions and intentions, you will accelerate the process of creating true peace. And this really reminds me of how it's like, be mindful of what cup you drink. Be mindful of where you take your precious matches and light up your manifestations that you call into being. There's a responsibility that comes with that. And it also reminds me of what I was trying to say about this whole teaching with Crowley and this writing from, you know, the Book of the Law and stuff like this. And it was to the effect of, you know, what is it? Love is the law except under will. Anyway, I don't have it in front of me, but the whole thought process was, yes, you know, do as you will. However, our aim is to be evolved, is to be growing, is to be healing, is to be doing shadow work, is to be taking responsibility and accountability for what we dream as we do what we will. You know what I mean? It's very easy to ride some wild ass chaos ride and be like, I'm manifesting money, I'm abundant, I'm blah, 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 you know? And then you're like, shit, did I manifest all this from a broken heart? Did I manifest all this the fuck out of balance? You know what I'm saying? So we have a responsibility for that. By your actions and intentions, you will accelerate, and Spirit says, or decelerate, the process of creating true peace. Both your prayers and your efforts in the community to actively live peace and support those who are like-minded will aid in shifting the balance. Yes, Age of Aquarius, right? In so doing, recognize that you are assisting the evolution of consciousness towards a world in which peace is truth and not solely a dream. And I think that's a wonderful way to also make a side note about Saturn and Pisces. You know, Saturn always gets cracked out as the big daddy, and he gets a hard time, and he's just a disciplinarian. And what would Saturn even know about peace anyway? He's just all about laws and regulations. And okay, somebody's going to be lawing and regulating out there. So if you don't square up and understand your peace and anchor the healing and doing the things within yourself, how are we going to change that? But then here goes the Aquarius in me wanting to spiral. That's a beautiful meditation to think about Saturn moving into Pisces. When you recognize, you are assisting the evolution of consciousness towards a world in which peace is truth and not solely a dream. On the shadow side, on the, the cautionary, I always like to read the shadow energy. Peace is hard to come by in your life. Maybe you feel this right now. Perhaps learning more about nonviolent communication, shadow work, the way of the peaceful warrior may help you to create a secure space from which to live your own peace. Yes. So I'm going to close it right there. I think it was super appropriate, and I hope you guys really have a wonderful week, and I look forward to checking back in with you soon. Be anchored in your own peace. This is very much a divine yin water flow type of oracle card as well. I love you guys. Appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful week.